Hello, this is Hui. Welcome to watch my video, C++ Programming on Linux. In previous video, we made a demonstration how to set up a Linux environment for C++ on Linux for AWS Lambda service. In this short video, we're going to demonstrate how to write a C++ program on Linux to invoke AWS Lambda functions. So here on the Amazon AWS Lambda and the function, we have just create a very basic, simple hello world Lambda function. In this Lambda function, we have a response string and a response JSON format data. There's a status code 200. This is the title. This is my test, and body. This is a hello from the Lambda. This is a WRLD hello world from Lambda, and we just create a deploy this, and we run the test. So we can get the result. So on the Lambda functions, we have two part return response. First is the function response, which is the return of this response, which is the JSON date we have. And the second part is the request, the log information, which is the log started, ended, and the report, the duration, and the memory size, and other informations. So here on our Linux, we just have to create a basic function here on my Linux, and we just create a C++ program called the Invoke function, the CPP, and this function is doing the very simple things. We take a function name from the command line, and we call the usage is the invoke function, which is this program, and the function name, which is we have in the Lambda AWS, and we invoke this function and get back the response result. So we first verify the argument count. If not equal to, we just print the usage. After that, this is a typical AWS SDK structure. First, we instantialize the object as option, and we init the API of this option, and finish the program. We shut down the API of these options. So in the between, we just invoke the function called invoke function, which calls this function pass function name, which we get from the command line. So this invoke function, what we do, this is also typical AWS structure. First, we have to start a configuration, client configuration. So we are from client, we're using this AWS client configuration, which we name it client configure. And then we start a Lambda client, which we name the client of this configuration. After we started the Lambda client, we have to instantialize the request object. This is using the invoke request because we're going to invoke our functions from the Lambda. And this request, we have to set up the function name, tell which function we're going to invoke. And we have to set up the invocation type. So the invocation type, there's three of them. First is the request response. When this request response means invoke the function synchronously. So and keep the connection open until the function returns a response or the timeout. So this API response include function response, which is the Lambda response, and additional date, and which is the log information. So when we send this request, we get the function response back and the log informations. So we set up our invocation type with the request response, and the log information we set up as the log type is the tail, and so this is the tail for the log function information type. So, and then we're going to set up a payload of a test event. So this is the event. We can pass parameter key value, and if we don't pass, this function we don't need. So we just keep this one, key 1 value 1, key 2 value 2, key 3 value 3. We don't need to set up or anything. And then we send this test event request to our payload, which is the IO stream. And after that, we're going to set this to the body. So this is our body for the request, and content type. This is a web service type. We can, based on the type, we just, this is application and JavaScript, because here our Node.js is application JavaScript. So this is a type. And after that, we just call our client and the invoke of our with our request. So we make request using the invoke method, and the output return back is called outcome. So what's this? If the outcome is a success, we have to do the two parts. First part, we try to get the function result, which using the result. This is first we get from the outcome. We get using get result, which is the result. We name it the result, which is the invoke result. We make an invoke request, and we get the invoke result. So we're using the result, get payload function to get the functional result, which is part of this response. This is the function result. And after that, and then we just print. We just call this just call lambda result. And after we get lambda result, we're going to get using the get log result. And log result is encoded, so we have to use the base64 decoding function to decode log result. And after we got log result, which is put in the array, and which is the assigned chair array, and we just make loop to using the log result get item and put it into the stream, which are log result, and we just print our log result. And we start with title log result header. Okay. Then if there's error, we just use outcome get error and just print out error message. And that's the program. So we save this program. We compile our program. Okay, now we got it compiled. This is our executable. So we're going this programmer need a command line parameter. Is the function name, which function name we will try is called HelloWorld. So and we just put it to the put it to the, so now let's see what we got. So now let's say we got two parts, right? So the first part is lambda result, which is the functional result. Let's make a beautiful look. So this part is a Lambda function result. We got a status code 200 title. This is my test, and the body hello world from the Lambda. Exactly when we're doing the console test, this is status code 200 title. This is my test, and the body is hello world from Lambda, and after that with the log result header. So log result have the request start and requested ID, which is and we have report requested, and there's the duration, build duration, memory size, and here is exactly this part. So in this way, we just make it straight. Demonstrate, we can write a simple C++ program from Linux directly, request, invoke Lambda function on Amazon Cloud service. Hello, this is Hui. Thanks to watch my video. Hopefully this is useful, enjoyable. It's going to be great to have your feedback.